Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one Eastern Kentucky animal shelter was called to an abandoned house where 23 animals were found malnourished. And new reports say it was former Governor Matt Bevin's last day in office when he signed a $41 million emergency lease for a private prison in Floyd County. Plus a Christmas surprise for one Richmond man after some generous strangers donated to him in a time of need.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:29 on December 26th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. So if you're waking up, we've celebrated the past couple days, but let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, it was a warm Christmas.
Record-breaking warmth there. Second warmest Christmas on record at the National Weather Service office at Jackson. 69, the official forecast high yesterday. A little cooler today, but still not too bad as we head back to work on this Friday Eve. Let's take a look at the clouds this morning. There's a few of them, but not a whole lot. They're starting to drift out as well. We'll see those start to pick back up as we get deeper into the afternoon and evening hours and tonight as well. 36 in Harlan, 35 here in Hazard, 34 Ashland, 35 in Middlesboro too, but 50 Logan, Jackson, close to it there. A couple of 47s in Prestonsburg and Pikeville, 37 in London, but just down Highway 80 there going toward Somerset, 46 right now. Temperature change from this time yesterday, 2 degrees colder in Wise. Everybody else is warmer, especially back out towards Somerset and Richmond, 14 degrees warmer in both locations. Your weather app forecast, you can download that in the App Store and on Google Play for your phone or device, and you see clear skies and sunny skies for a while. Then we get into the afternoon, those clouds will start to increase, but still mid-60s for daytime highs. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, it was former Governor Matt Bevin's last day in office when he signed a $41 million emergency lease for a private prison in Floyd County. That is what the Courier-Journal is reporting. And lawmakers learned of this Thursday when Bevin signed the 10-year contract with Core Civic. In October, we told you about Bevin's announcement of reopening the prison in Wheelwright. Bevin claimed the prison would bring 200 state jobs. The lease bypassed the legislative committee in charge of approving those types of contracts. And a driver was injured following a fire truck crash in Knox County yesterday. Deputies with the Knox County Sheriff's Office tell us the crash happened around 2:30 p.m. on northbound Kentucky 11 in the Cannon community. Deputies believe the driver of Richland's fire department truck left the roadway and flipped, coming to a rest on its top. We do not know the driver's condition at this time, and the driver was flown to UT Hospital in Tennessee. And Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter received a call from Kentucky State Police Tuesday night. They were called to an abandoned house where 23 animals were found malnourished. Once an emergency vet was called, some animals were taken to a hospital in critical condition. Yesterday, these 2 hound dogs were taken to Appalachian Animal Hospital. Dr. Jean, owner of the hospital, has been a vet for 3 decades and says he has unfortunately seen cases like this before.
They've not had any access to food for some time, or they've had very limited access, and they've just gradually lost down to where they're in critical condition.
Now, Kentucky State Police are still investigating as they are trying to find the owners, as well as trying to find out where the animals will be placed. And on Christmas Eve, one Louisville family came home from church to find their Christmas gifts and the makings of their Christmas dinner stolen from them. But after word spread on social media, people stepped in to the role of the family's personal Santa. Mike Fussell has the story.
Home from church on Christmas Eve, Teresa Huff walked into her house to find gifts once under the tree had now disappeared.
Somebody, I guess, entered through a window, took pretty much all the toys that I had gotten for the kids.
Still with a wreath on her front door, Huff says she tried to stay positive, but it was tough.
This is me being a Christian woman right now, and I'm trying to be as Christian. And I was like, and I feel so good about myself. I said one cuss word, and she was like, I know.
That's when her friend Melody, she says, got involved, writing a Facebook post to make sure Huff's kids had something from her to open on Christmas. Writing in all caps, "We need our community to be Santa."
My kids got stuff from their grandma and, friends and stuff. So, I mean, it wasn't like a big, but I just didn't have nothing myself per se to be like.
Melody and Huff are already part of a Facebook group where people help people when they need it most. So it was a natural fit that Huff, once a gift giver of the group, received this Christmas. Another woman seeing the post dropping off toys Wednesday for her kids.
The person, the angel that came and dropped some stuff off, she was a beautiful person.
Huff says at the end of the day, even if nobody had stopped by, her children wowould still be supportive.
No matter what, we were still going to have us as a whole.
And to her, that's the best gift of all.
Well, in Mississippi, a literal Grinch was caught after weeks of searching, but no actual crimes were committed. The Pascagoula Police Department began this comical campaign at the beginning of December. With the help of local businesses and plenty of laughs from community members, they continued using the Grinch to educate citizens on holiday safety. That pursuit came to an end Monday when officers were able to corner the Grinch, and with the help of Canine Officer Nikki, the Grinch was taken into custody. Police say the Gula Grinch was charged with interpretation of merriment and attempted theft of Christmas. And it was a Christmas surprise for one Richmond man after some generous strangers gave donations to him. David Tackett walked into his local McDonald's for a Coke and left with something far greater. He tells us this Christmas season is tighter than any other. While waiting in line, a couple approached him.
They say you look like you're struggling and all that stuff, and that when the Christmas miracle happened.
And the couple gave him enough money to pay his bills and grab some last-minute gifts. Tackett says once he got back into his car, he immediately cried tears of joy. He says that couple were his angels, and they were gone as soon as he turned around. And Santa made a special stop in Brownsburg, Indiana Monday night for an 8-year-old with autism. The little boy had been turned away by a mall Santa over the weekend because he had a service dog. The Brownsburg Fire Department responded with a different kind of rescue, saving Christmas for the boy and his family. Dan Klein explains.
Santa arriving on this eve of Christmas Eve, not on a red sleigh pulled by 9 reindeer, but on 8 wheels, a big red fire engine. But that's okay. The look of awe and amazement is the same from Tyler Burkhart, an 8-year-old with autism.
Christmas is very overwhelming, a lot of people, a lot of lights, so it's overwhelming for us.
But no signs of that as St. Nick makes a personal appearance. Tyler's service dog Ryan nearby.
Ryan is a wheelchair to a person who can't walk. Ryan is his support. Ryan helps him function.
And so the tour of the red fire truck begins, thanks to the Brownsburg Fire Department. They're making amends for the so-called bad Santa and bad elf who kept Tyler and Ryan away Saturday night. They were worried other kids could have allergies. Tyler's mom, Melissa, says they broke the law by banning the service animal.
The damage had already been done at that point, and we had a very just crushed child.
Ryan arrived in January. Alyssa says his presence has opened the world to them. Now they go to restaurants and enjoy a normal life for the first time. He goes to school with Tyler, who's a 3rd grader at Reagan Elementary. In his words,
I tell him to come and lay on me, and then sometimes he sits down and then he gives me his paw.
Santa's horn isn't the highlight for Tyler, though. It's getting to spray the hose down the street.
I loved it.
He is going to talk about it for days.
Those bad memories left behind for good. No trip from Santa would be complete without one gift. What else but a red fire truck? Tyler's got a few more requests, though, not just for him.
I want Legos and football cards. And then Ryan loves socks. He loves to eat them.
With a hug and a few photos out front of Santa's sleigh, the magic is back. And that's the best gift to a mother who has been doing all she can to bring the joy of Christmas back to her only son, along with his 4-legged friend. Just like the poem, this visit from St. Nick giving all a good night.
Beyond happiness, I cannot even tell you how just excited and just happy this makes us.
This actually isn't the first time Santa has hitched a ride on the Brownsburg fire truck. That is a holiday tradition, but Santa usually does not deliver his toys that way. And rescue kittens got dressed up in festive holiday sweaters on Christmas Eve, as adoring fans took turns playing and cuddling with them at a Washington Cat Cafe. Crumbs and Whiskers, which also has an outpost in Los Angeles, acts as a foster home for homeless cats until they are adopted. Customers can book an experience online, allowing them a set amount of time to interact with the furry felines. Many end up filing adoption papers shortly thereafter, and the kitten sweaters were made from tube socks and meant to add a little extra holiday cheer to visitors' experiences. And AAA predicts more Americans than ever will drive this holiday season. Nearly 105 million Americans hit the roads for their holiday destination. almost a 4% increase compared with last year, and today could be the worst day of the year for some drivers. According to NREX, which partners with AAA to compile transportation data, Thursday, the day after Christmas, is when you can expect traffic delays to nearly double your trip time. AAA also says it will be a record-setting holiday travel season in general from December 21st through January 1st. It expects more than 115 million Americans will travel by car, plane, train, bus, or cruise ship. That's the most in nearly 20 years. Well, coming up, this year's version of the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes features a physically disabled dancer for the first time in its history.
Our late December heat wave will continue for a few more days, but a chill in the air is right around the corner. I'll have the latest details in about 3 minutes.